Yo, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to our UW Esports Game of the Week. This time we're featuring Rocket League, and today we are going to be playing the JMU Dukesie Daisies in the lower bracket of the 2021 CSL playoffs. Our esports program seeks to build and foster community and open doors to the vast career opportunities available in the field of gaming and promote what I think is very important and what we all think is very important, which is healthy competition. Esports help us create like these really great communities that I think a lot of us have been needing and leaning on a lot in these rough times. So we hope you enjoy being a part of our community. We invite you to get more involved. You can follow us here on this Twitch channel, on our UW Esports Discord. There's a command in the chat, I believe, to do that, and as well as on our socials at U of A Esports. Now, to introduce ourselves, my name is Andrew. I also go by Roha, and I'm currently a senior in informatics.
And my name is Suki. I also go by Sukiyomi, and I'm a senior in CS.
All right, so just to talk a little bit about these two teams. Last week we looked at UW in a very, very tight series. Great play by both squads last week. And this week they're going up against another very strong team, the Dukesie Daisies, a very good team. I think one of the better teams in the country. It's going to be a very tough matchup going into it. Are you looking for anything in particular from these matches coming up?
I mean, I'm interested to see how how UW is going to handle two tough teams back to back. It's always really pressuring to play against teams that have been in the top 10 of qualifiers and Winter Cups. So I'm interested to see what their plan of attack is. If they try anything different, like in that one match last week, we saw the other team trying something different to sort of throw off their opponents. We'll see, hopefully we'll see something like that, and just more strong offense from UW.
I mean, yeah, honestly, we love seeing great play, regardless of who's playing it. You know, when you're seeing the ball and you're seeing the cars and they're doing their thing, it's a great sight. So
It's different.
it does hit different. All right, well, we're not going to keep you guys waiting. We want to watch these games too, so let's go ahead and get into game number one.
Alright, so we have our standard UW lineup: Wizard, Dukesie, and Toby.
And they will be on orange this game, just so you don't get confused.
Admittedly, I don't know too much about the JMU players we have tonight.
Yeah, I don't know much about them. Actually, this could be a goal right here for Dukesie as he puts it in on an open net.
Immediate good start for UW, just finding their gap in their rotation.
And yeah, so looking at the other team, right away, the Dukesie Daisies are a very strong squad. We've got some SSLs on that team, and for those of you who don't know, Supersonic Legend is the new highest rank in Rocket League. And they're showing their prowess here with a great goal.
Kinda sad I can no longer say I'm the highest rank in Rocket League, but
I know, dude. Once upon a time, I could say I was the highest ranked in Rocket League, and now we're a little ways away.
definitely a much needed breath of fresh air into this game.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the competitive scene was getting... Well, not the competitive scene as in like the actual competitive scene, but like ranked. It's getting very stale. Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of games can relate to that. Most ranked systems have a lot of their flaws, and I think high rank inflation is definitely one of them.
I am liking what I'm seeing so far. A lot of players getting good touches and meaningful touches on the ball.
Yeah, I mean, you really see at this level of play, people are trying to keep possession of the ball. They're not trying to just give it away and hit it away immediately. And a great pass there.
Just barely sneaking it past UW on defense there.
And I believe that was Delora with the goal. I could be mistaken, but yeah,
really
so
be paying
far.
attention to those names.
Yeah, the names are... I'm not used to seeing these players. I have not seen a lot of them, so it's still a little strange for me.
This could be good for UW. They got 3 players out.
The demo's going to carry a lot of the pressure. So far, one thing I think that's been interesting is every goal has pretty much come off of a really great pass. I think both of these teams here are at a caliber which you need to break them down by different means than just solo play.
Right. A little bit of a missed passing play there from UW. Just takes the shot instead. Speed of the ball.
And yeah, I'm really liking this level of control that I'm seeing on both sides. Even if they're not always getting the greatest touches, you can tell they're going for them. I think that's really cool.
It really helps at this level to have really consistent opponents, because there's nothing worse playing at a high level than having a really inconsistent opponent. You just kind of have to guess what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I think that's actually one of the things that people talk about a lot, being one of the difficulties actually in playing at a semi-competitive level. It's just that great save there by Wizard, I believe. What was I saying? Yeah, one of the issues is actually that when you're playing at lower levels of play, a lot of the things you do at the higher levels don't actually work because the things you're doing are kind of reliant on the other team also being good.
Yeah, on Wizard there, this could be dangerous for you, though. Speaking of Wizard, he's in the dominance team.
Oh, and a great passing play there to Dukesie. What a cheeky little tap. Yeah, we're seeing some interesting card choices by UW. I don't think we've seen them in these cards before.
Definitely don't have a big impression of seeing Wizard in the dominance. Maybe just only for this one.
As far as I'm aware, Vixie has been pretty much an Octane only kind of player for most of them.
Has he?
I feel like I've mostly seen it in an Octane. Could be mistaken.
I remember seeing him in Fennec a lot.
Really? Maybe I'm misremembering.
Oh. I don't think anyone expected that ball to go over their net. JMU with possession here.
Decent touch by Wizard and a good demo to clear that pressure. He's going to have a full tank of boost and plenty of time to go for something as the ball gets killed back down to Dukesie.
The Wizard was communicated for with that pass. Unfortunately gets collected by JMU.
They're going for really great passing plays. I like the ideas here, but you can tell that the Dukesie's Daisies are very ready for these. Oh, great pass.
Are they?
A
great pass off to the Wizard, I believe, scored that.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And that's just the commentator's curse. Get back at it again.
Whenever you say something, it always happens.
Oh, no, not like this. Okay. JMU is there to collect it.
Staying calm with the pressure.
I mean, that's another thing that I think you really start to appreciate high-level play, is they don't panic, really. Not as much. Obviously, there'll always be a little bit, but not to the same degree.
Wizard? Oh, that could have been dangerous on two separate occasions. But Wizard just too thick in that dominance. Is able to block both of these.
The dominance is a wall, essentially. You've got to position right. It's very hard to get anything past it. Bit of a triple commit there for UW. Can JMU capitalize? They're going to put a shot on net. Not going to go in. Back off the crossbar as UW collects possession.
Maybe trying to buy some time, hitting it off into the middle. It's going to be collected off to Deora, JMU.
Oh, he needs a good 50 here. He's going to get it. Taps it back over, and they're going to kill the ball just in time.
UW's win in game one. Very rare to see, as UW is generally a slow start team where they throw the first two matches and then try and come back under the pressure of a clean sweep.
I mean, you know, we've talked about this before. UW, a team that really loves making content. You know, they love entertaining the crowd. They love making the highlight plays.
Absolutely.
So, you know, nothing more exciting than a reverse sweep, right? But
yeah, maybe they're out to play seriously today. We'll get to see.
Yeah.
Just honestly, that game was kind of underwhelming from what I was expecting.
Honestly,
there was a lot of good plays, but a lot of the goals that were scored were just from the ball flying over the people's heads that have pushed forward too far in the map.
I mean, I think if anything, that just goes to show kind of how evenly stacked these teams are. The goals that we did see were just those small mistakes in rotation that were pretty easily exploited. Because at this level, both teams are quite capable of defending against those like stronger build-up plays and passing plays.
Right.
We did see a few of those as well, but I'll be looking to see just how far they can push each other coming up here. Because, you know, as fun as it is to see games that are won, seeing goals that go in kind of just like from a floating ball over the last man back aren't quite as entertaining. So
definitely some close, like all the goals that were scored were very close. Like had a player on each team close to the ball at the moment they went in.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. But
I mean, it was just like those goals came off of really, really like small advantages, essentially.
Right. Yeah, just that extra little bit of boost to get there, just that extra second faster.
And honestly, in this game too, I can go either way. I think both teams definitely have what it takes to take this series. We know both teams are very good. UW with the win in the first series, but it wasn't by a huge margin, so I don't think they're taking that much momentum going into game two.
Right, yeah, we'll just have to see. Game two.
Let's get right into it.
Dukesie winning that kickoff over to JMU side.
Toby is going to get the 50 and tap it down to Wizard. On the offensive here early off the backboard, but local there with a good clear.
Making the pressure I'm seeing here from UW, but JMU now has an opportunity as UW takes a little wide rotation back.
Yeah, you would normally like to see a person on that a little bit sooner, especially when they have that much time.
Dukesy's not going to get faked out like Wizard there. He'll just touch the ball. Force JMU back in that corner.
Bit of a play opportunity here for Wizard. He's going to take it up, goes off the ceiling, but cleared away on the backboard.
Wizard sticking in that dominance, definitely feeling himself this match. We'll see if that pays off.
And after getting the dub in the first game with the dominance, I don't know, maybe he's feeling it a little bit. Just wants to stay on it and see what he can really do with it.
I can't blame him as the content creator he is. Off the backboard, Dukesie unable to get the second touch. That out to Wizard.
Lobs it really high into the corner. Goes for maybe a pinch of some sort. Pass it back into the middle. JMU's ready
a lot of boost on these plays, going up for the ball really high. Something I'm noticing.
I think that's actually something we talked about last week as well. You know, you can go up to the ball and get to it first, but if you're not getting a really great touch on it, you're using a lot of boost and you're basically putting yourself out of the play for a while.
It's a triple play here for JMU, but maybe pitched by Wizard out to the center. Hopefully Toby can get a touch out here.
A bit of a miscommunication there as Vixie and Wizard both commit for it, and it's an open net, and JMU, not a team that's going to let that opportunity go by. Local capitalizing.
A little bit of a slower path than we could have, I feel. Trying to conserve that boost, but...
I mean, the double commit didn't help. Both players were on the same side of the net. And then the last player back probably wouldn't have expected to have to go back that soon.
This could be big here. Sloth manages to get a touch out.
And these fakes for JMU, getting a lot of mileage out of them. Sending UW players flying.
Wizard with a touch out here to center, Toby. Dukesy's there.
Dixie with a second touch. Can he get a third? No, Toby there to dunk, and it's going to go high up into the back right corner of JMU.
JMU's just going to take their time here. They are in the lead, so all they have to do is just keep this ball safe.
Granted, it is only a 1-goal lead. They're going to be looking to extend that. As you know, just 1 goal is never enough to save you. Because with 0 seconds left, you can still come back from a 1-goal deficit.
Very true. And that's a shot opportunity for JMU, collected off by Dukesie.
It's a good 50. Deora, great shot placement there.
Great pass off the sloped wall in the corner there out to Deora, who's just ready to slam that into UW's net.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little surprised he got that much power out of it. He did not seem to be going very fast, and Rocket League, very hard to generate power if you're not already moving.
I guess it would be nice to cover a little bit of Rocket League mechanics here in this moment to kind of explain that goal. But I think the way Deora got that much power there on that ball was touching it with the very front corner of his card, because cars in Rocket League all have different hitboxes that are part of the overall hitbox of the card. So for example, the underside of the card generates very little power when you touch the ball with it, whereas the front of the ball and the top of the front of the car and the top of the car generate a lot of power. So hitting it in that corner between those two hitboxes generally generates the most power when setting up a shot.
That's a great passing play there by JMU, and they're going to go up 3-0. UW looking a little bit slow, yeah.
Wizard with the kickoff here, manages to win the 50 as well. Gets the wave dash onto the wall.
Little recovery, puts it into the middle. Toby there to capitalize. Can he get anything out of this? Pass it back in the center. Not a strong touch there, and Deora's going to clear it away.
Wizard with another good 50 out middle, but just collected by JMU here.
I don't know. I think what I'm seeing a lot from UW right now is, again, like, that's a great shot there.
Not much Wizard could do there in that position right over his head.
I mean, I think what he was going for there, you could see he tried to flick the ball straight up.
True, yeah.
But unfortunately, just kind of catapulted it back into his net.
Oh, a great double touch from Sloth there. Will be collected by UW off into the corner.
I mean, the one thing I'm seeing from JMU right now that just looks really great is how intentional their passes are. You know, they're not just pinging the ball and hoping someone's going to be there. You can see they're going for really, really exact passes. They know exactly where the other players are. And they're looking to get that ball to them.
30 seconds left here, 4 goals down. This is not looking good for UW. Wizard unfortunately going right past that ball.
That is going to be a good pass middle, though, and no JMU players back on rotation. UW's going to pull one back.
Yeah, cheated up a little bit too far in the corner to challenge that ball, so the corner pass worked out really well for UW there.
And only 20 seconds, though. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back from this one as JMU just double commits on the ball.
Here, but no one there from UW close enough to follow up on that pass. And with 6 seconds left, I believe that is game 2 to JMU.
This is going to be game 2 for sure. All right, and let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, wow, great game from JMU. All of those goals came off of really great passes. They're playing really well as a team, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to figure out what UW did differently there that made this game go so differently from game 1, which was a lot closer.
I mean, I think that, like we talked about, JMU kind of just tightened up on their defense. They had less of those small lapses in their rotation. And I think that really ended up costing them a lot more in game 1, and they recognized that, they adjusted to it, and I think they're starting to heat up a little bit, so they have the momentum here.
Yeah, I think that's a good observation, because we noticed like when they realized they were going to win game 2, they kind of loosened up a little bit again, causing UW to score that goal.
Yeah, and they also had another loose, like a bad double commit at the very end, right? That almost led to another, like a second goal for UW.
Right. So I don't know what UW can do to get that sort of loosening to happen again, other than going down 4 points, but we'll have to see what UW decides to strategize here in game 3.
I mean, yeah, let's check it out. Game 3.
All right. We'll see if Wizard, he is sticking in the Dominus.
Still in the Dominus. Maybe he's really been liking it.
And you definitely get a lot of power with that Dominus. Dukesie with a great double touch off the ceiling, off to Toby to put it in.
And, you know, that's kind of reminiscent of game 1, where the players of JMU just kind of caught out of position. No one's back in time to cover a touch like that.
I do wonder how much of it is just their rotations being different, playing at different levels than UW. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A lot of crossbar action there.
I mean, that's a high pressure shot to hit, and I think UW did a good job there of covering the actual shot angle, forcing JMU to go high.
A little bit of a double commit there, Toby. Throwing Dukesie out of the way to tell him, yeah, I got this, don't worry. They are going to cover that ball out mid.
Oh, very nearly a shot there for JMU.
Dior up quick to that ball to keep the ball in UW's half. Loco going to try and do something crazy here, as his name implies.
Dukesie maybe getting a bump. No, not quite going to get it. Dior now getting a chance to go for a solo play. That's a great catch on the dribble. But the 50's not going to go anywhere, and UW's going to recollect it.
Demo here from Toby, setting up Wizard. Kind of throws the ball away, unfortunately. It looks like he had very little boost to work with.
I mean, that looked like a pass for Wizard, but just way too hard there. It is going to put the ball up on JMU's half, though, and UW here has a chance to aggress.
This is the curse of the Dominus. You hit it too hard whether you want to or not.
With great power comes great responsibility, right?
True. Dukesie on defense here should be able to save that, but sets up
Not
Loco here.
Great a save, yeah.
Diora putting it right back again. Dukesie again.
Dukesie just jumping up and down, jumping for joy in net. I think that was his third save.
Yeah, it's definitely UW feeling the pressure here at JMU. Toby gonna be able to alleviate a little bit of that. Again, not much boost in the tanks here for UW as they try to just find somewhere to get this ball out of their half.
Yeah, and you look at JMU, every time one of their players comes in, they're at 100 boost, or at least above 80. They've been very healthy on the boost side of things, and UW been struggling.
A little awkward there for JMU in the corner as some teammate bumps happening, but managed to recover and have possession of the ball here.
Oh no, it just slipped past UW's defense. Not sure what happened there.
I think that might have been a miscommunication to an I got it to, oh no, I don't got it.
I got it. Oh gosh, I don't have it. Help! Oh, okay.
These corner bounces are brutal. Toby avoiding the demo from slot there.
Yeah, those corner bounces will mess up even the best players.
Ooh. Strong 50 for JMU. 50 again into the side, but definitely UW having trouble building up momentum with their plays.
Yeah, I was gonna say the level or the speed of play on UW's side has just been really slow these past few minutes. Oh, it's almost a banger of a shot into the top corner.
This is dangerous for UW here, but Toby manages to buy a little time for his teammates to come back.
And Jamie just gonna back off here.
We have a double commit there. If Wizard can get this ball over, UW has a chance.
It's a high arcing ball, but Daora should catch it, no problem. Gets a not great flick on it. Toby's gonna put it back center. Vixie up into the corner, can't get a second touch. He won't, but Wizard there to shoot it. Very nearly.
Very nearly. Watching with bated breath there to see if they would manage to put that ball in.
Oh, Wizard for a double. He almost got it, but I think that was Sloth there with a great save.
Very good game we're having here, though. Very intense, much more reminiscent of game 1, which is a lot closer. 1 minute left.
Both teams have a great fight. Dixie here trying to put it center. That's going to be a misread, but they do have a player back. JMU going to clear that out, no problem. Daora gets it over one. A demo comes in. Vixie manages to get it out, though.
JMU with an opportunity here. Vixie again there to save it.
And yeah, this has just been such a back and forth. And these kinds of games are very mentally exhausting. You know, you can't make mistakes here. When it's this close, one mistake means the game.
And every goal is a chance to sort of recover a little bit of energy and bring that mental back. But with almost 4 minutes, I think, with no goal, both teams have to be feeling it here.
I mean, I think one of the things that I always see and I hear about, right, is how... Okay, before I finish that thought, are we going to be seeing a 0-second goal? No, it's going to tap down and go to overtime. Yeah, to finish that thought, I think one thing that you hear a lot about Rocket League that surprises people is how short the matches are, right?
Right.
Like you think, oh, it's based on soccer. Real soccer games are 90 minutes long. Why is Rocket League only 5 minutes total? And I think that's just because the amount of focus it requires to play at a high level, you're playing pretty much at max focus for 5 straight minutes. You know, it's not like other games where you have downtime. For example, like in a MOBA, right, where you have time walking around or just, you know, like playing a little bit slower. Rocket League's pretty high intensity all the way throughout.
And very high octane, if you will.
For those of you who don't know, the Octane is the most popular card in Rocket League. And thanks, I hate it. But anyways.
I do apologize, but that is what I'm here for.
Oh, maybe a shot opportunity for UW. Wizard goes up for a shot local there to save it.
This is dangerous for UW here. They're both on they're caught on their back foot here.
And low boost as well. They're exiting the half.
And Jamie gonna slow it down, go for an air dribble here, and does get it over. And that's gonna be a goal.
It's just gonna slip right over. Whoever was in net was not ready for that.
Yeah, I don't think Vixie was ready. I think he thought that first air dribble was going in and not gonna bounce off the crossbar.
I mean, it did look like that. He was kind of already in the air and kind of just fumbling, floating for when that second shot came in.
Yeah, that was disheartening, I think. I think UW really felt that loss. That was very close.
I mean, those kinds of games always suck to lose, you know, when it's that close and you know you could have won that. You know, if you just didn't make that one slip up, maybe if you capitalized a little bit better on one shot opportunity, you know, things could be really different when a game's that tight.
At least it wasn't an own goal. I've ended a lot of matches that way.
Yeah, ending an OT with an own goal is definitely not great. You know. Well, UW here on the back foot. This is a best of 5, so this is JMU's match point here. UW hanging on by a thread. I'm a little concerned. You know, their mental probably a little bit fatigued right now after a loss like that.
Especially with such an intense game. Like, I really like the play we saw that game. It was very close. Both teams respecting each other. And and like trying to do their best to work with their teammates.
Yeah, I mean, I think UW is starting to adapt a little bit. We're seeing some more of those passing plays come out. They're looking for each other instead of just looking to clear the ball or like put it downfield. And I think those are the kinds of things they need to be focusing on if they want to capitalize on JMU's defense, which has been very solid up to this point.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just want to see game 4. I think it's gonna be good.
Let's get right into it. Match point for JMU. Can UW hold on?
Alright, Dior gonna collect this or not. Actually gonna leave that for his teammate Wilco. Calculated fake.
And yeah, actually, now after seeing that bump attempt, I think one thing that we haven't been seeing a ton of actually is demos from either side.
Wizard with a great clear out. Can Vixie? JMU is there.
Get to 50 and Wizard not going to catch it. JMU going to capitalize on that. Toby pops it up. That's not a great hit. And a lot of misses there from UW.
Very unfortunate. Just one mistake leading to another.
And, you know, that's just panic, right? As soon as one player gets a touch that they weren't expecting, everyone else is thrown off their position, essentially. Yeah. And once you start panicking, it's just misses all around.
I think I've noticed Jamie really likes, or Diora especially, really likes those slow pops into an air dribble.
Yeah, I mean, based on what we just saw, he was going for a flip reset. But UW, I think, well aware of the threat of a flip reset and not going to let him have the time to pull that off.
Do you want to talk about what a flip reset is? I don't know if we've covered it yet.
Yeah, so in Rocket League, every time that you jump off the ground, you have a certain amount of time.
Quickly, we have a great goal.
As Toby cuts me off there. Yeah, so a flip reset in Rocket League. As I'm sure many of you know, in Rocket League, when you are jumping off the ground, you have a certain amount of time to make a flip, or, you know, like a dodge. So that's how you do like your front flips, your side flips, your back flips. Now what a flip reset is it's where you're resetting your jump timer by landing on the ball or having the ball touch your car in such a way that your car thinks it's on the ground again or on like a solid surface. What this does is it allows you to flip again much later than you would normally be able to. And often you can use that to really throw off defenders.
Yeah, very tricky to get in high-level play because you often don't have that amount of time with the ball. But very useful when you do get it.
Yeah, I mean, you need a ton of time to pull it off. And at this point in time, I mean, maybe back when people were first starting to utilize that mechanic, players didn't know how to defend against it. But at this point in time, even lower level players are well aware of the threat and know how to defend against it, which is really just to go a little bit earlier and not give the opponent enough time to set that up.
UW again low on boost in their tanks here, doing their best to defend.
Toby here gonna pop it up, but we know Wizard empty up there. He's not gonna have the boost to go for this.
Wizard gonna stay with the ball here.
Oh no, fakes out his teammate.
Including his teammate.
And that's just a miscommunication there from Wizard to Vixie.
Yeah, I do think it was good to stay on the ball considering he was already in an awkward position there. Kind of in no man's land between the ball and his teammate.
I do think Vixie there, a bit of panic to go for that. And a missed ball by Toby is going to put them down another goal.
It is still a close game, 3-1. 2 goals isn't too hard of a deficit to come back from in most cases.
I mean, 2 goals is definitely a doable amount, but with how close these games have been, this lead could mean a lot more than that.
Yeah, especially as you were mentioning, the mental is definitely going to be taking a toll here.
I mean, yeah, like...
Oh, another miscommunication.
So as we said, right, UW is looking very defeated right now, unfortunately.
Vixie
just
trying to
lack
answer
of
back.
communication, yeah. A pass center to no one. And these demos are probably also starting to get to UW.
Demos are very frustrating to play against, but generally have a very high efficiency if used well.
Yeah, I mean, they're considered a very high-risk, high-reward tactic. If you pull it off, you've taken someone else out of the game. If you mess it up, you're taking yourself out of the game. So not only is it risky, you have to know when to use it. Sometimes that risk is definitely not worth it.
Dukesie with an opportunity here off the backboard. Gonna leave it to Wizard, who pops it high and into the net.
Okay, back to a 2-goal deficit. Still a minute on the clock. This is doable for UW, but they really got to rally here and stop making these small miscommunications.
Definitely the panic you mentioned is something they have to work on going into this final minute here.
I mean, JMU right now just doing a great job keeping it out of UW's hands, and if the ball is going towards them, it's to pressure a shot on net.
Yeah, UW definitely not getting the touches they want here. Toby does have a flick here, but not much they can get from that play.
I mean, it seems good on paper. You know, Toby gets it past one, Dixie gets it into the corner, but with the way that ball bounced, there's just no one there to receive, and they ended up just giving it straight back to JMU.
Yeah, JMU just sitting on the goal line waiting for that corner hit to complete to just calmly collect the ball. One great flip from Dixie.
It's a good pop.
Unfortunately, nothing gained from it. And this is actually dangerous here for UW. Toby alone on defense.
That's the air dribble bump.
Oh my.
And that's great awareness, and I think that's going to seal the deal.
I don't think UW is coming back from that one. That has got to be just... Oh, okay. All right, never mind.
I can't tell if that was a fake or not.
It probably was.
Yeah. But yeah, that's going to do it. UW puts up a valiant effort, but JMU just the better team today.
Gets one for the road. Just says we aren't going to take this lying down.
I mean, you know, on paper, you know, those games were really close. Each of them within, I think, 2 goals, or maybe 3 in game 2. I remember. Yeah, 2 overtime games and 1 2-goal deficit. But, you know, I think this is one of those cases where the stat sheet doesn't show the full story. You know, if you just look at each game scoreline, you might think this was a really, really close series. And certainly in 2 games it was. But I think games 2 and 4, pretty one-sided, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know what happened in those 2 games. I really liked the games we saw in 1 and 3, where the games were very close, very intense. Those are generally the most fun types of Rocket League to watch, and also the most stressful type to watch. But
yeah,
games 2 and 4 felt more like UW was kind of just holding a shield up and getting hit from every side.
And yeah, you know, you can't defend everything, and eventually that shield is going to crack. I mean, the way I'd put it is, you know, on paper it was a pretty close game or set, and there were close games. But when UW won, it was a very hard-fought, you know, very close game that went to overtime, a grueling match. And when JMU won, sometimes it was a close match, and sometimes it was just really one-sided.
Yeah, it's very strange. I wonder how much of that was JMU trying out different things and different tactics against UW after that game 1.
I mean, yeah. So I think one of the things we noticed, we saw more demos coming out in the latter half of that series. They were always going for those passing plays, but they were trying a few different things, I think. And I think that did keep UW kind of guessing a lot of the time, kept them on their toes. And I mean, it looks like it worked out for them. Well, there it is. There you guys have it. Congrats to the JMU Dukesie Daisies for a great win. As much as it pains me to admit it, they played very well, and that was a well-deserved victory. Thank you to all of you for spending time with us tonight and joining us here on our University of Washington Twitch channel, and really taking the time to appreciate the efforts of our production crew, our players, and every one of us that works here to make these kinds of things happen. Make sure to check us out at the U of WA Esports. That's on most platforms like Twitter, YouTube, or Twitter, and here on Twitch. Our YouTube is UW Esports, and make sure to join the Discord if you're interested in volunteering and getting involved. I think that is all from us for today, so we'll be signing off. This has been Roha.
I'm Sukiyomi.
And we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye. but not today. Just